If you don't love that, then I would not recommend Fruitarianism. Fruitarianism was great and all. Having done it for 10 years, I can speak from experience when I say that there are definitely some drawbacks to being on a 100% fruit-based diet. Of course, there are some pros as well, but there are definitely a lot of drawbacks, which I want to talk about in this video. And before I get into the video, before we get into the depths of the video, I do want to say that the reason I'm making this video is because I have an audience, and I think it's important to share my message, to share my experiences with my audience, aka you. If you have an important message that you want to share with the world, whether it's veganism or raw foods or something to do with fitness or health or whatever, and you're looking to grow your audience, my friend Raw Food Romance and I, also known as Lissa Raw Food Romance Maris, we've both put together a free 5-day challenge for you to join us on growing your audience starting Monday, but by the time you're watching this video, it could be later, but link in the description to check out the Instagram Growth Challenge, completely free challenge, helping you grow your Instagram by 500 followers in just 5 days. Super cool. So back to the video here. If you do have an interest in becoming a fruitarian, or you already are a fruitarian, there's just a few things I want to make clear in this video, okay? I used to recommend fruitarianism to everyone. I thought everyone was crazy for not being fruitarian, but now I'm like, look, I would only recommend it to a very, very few people, a small handful of people. I'd only recommend fruitarianism if you're willing to put up with always having to go to the washroom, always having to go pee, right? Your bladder's always freaking full because you're eating all this juicy fruit, which I guess really means you're just really well hydrated. So it's actually maybe a good thing. The other thing you have to be willing to do is eat large volumes. You have to really enjoy eating. Whereas on cooked food, you can eat a lot smaller amounts. So I mean, if you enjoy eating, you enjoy the taste of good fruit, you're of course gonna love fruitarianism, and I'd recommend it to you. But if you don't love that, then I would not recommend fruitarianism. The other thing you have to be willing to put up with is just not being as heavy as you would be on cooked food. You're gonna be a lot lighter on fruit. Some people call this like not being grounded or whatever, but I mean, if you wanna get grounded, you can just jump in the water. But you have to be willing to feel lighter and cleaner and just feel more natural and less like you're just eating some food that you weren't really meant to eat. The other thing you have to be willing to put up with is people looking at you and thinking that you're different because you're eating very differently. The thing about people thinking you're different, standing up, being unique because of your diet, it is an easy icebreaker. People come up to you and they're like, hey, I heard you're fruitarian, I heard you're raw vegan, and you have an amazing opportunity to change their life for the better. I can't tell you how many people have sent me DMs or met me in person and said, Ted, thank you for all the raw vegan videos you put up, it changed my life. So you do have to be willing to put up with that, but again, there are some pros to that which you can really help change people's lives. The other thing is, you have to be willing to put up with going number 2, like 3-4 times a day. It's really healthy for your colon and whatnot, but you're gonna have to be willing to go to the toilet a lot more. So these are just some things to keep in mind. You're also gonna have to be willing to surrender a large portion of the amount of protein that you're eating. So if you want way more protein, I wouldn't recommend fruitarianism, because when you're eating a fruit-based diet, your carbs are gonna be so freaking high, which is gonna give you a lot of energy. Of course, you're gonna have a lot of energy. I had a lot of energy as a fruitarian, so that's why I was able to swim, bike, and run all day long as a triathlete, but my protein was a lot lower. So that's something to keep in mind as well. As far as everything else goes, everything else is pretty awesome on a fruit-based diet. There's very little drawbacks, the more I think about it. Some people though, they're just not willing, like I said, to be different, and they're not willing to be hydrated all the time, and they're not willing to feel light and feel natural and feel really clean inside. So I just can't recommend it to everyone, but if you are okay with that stuff, then by all means, go for a fruitarian diet. If you're interested in learning how to do it, I'll paste some links in the description of this video so you can get some information on how to do a fruitarian diet properly. A couple of the biggest mistakes I see people make is just not properly food combining, just eating terrible food combinations, and not eating well-grown fruit, like eating like low-quality fruit. Those are just a couple of things to keep in mind. But again, if you have a message that you want to get out there and share with the world, whether it's with veganism or health or fitness or whatever, and you want to grow your following, you can head over to 500follows.com for a free 5-day Instagram growth challenge that my friend Alyssa and I are putting on together. So that's all I wanted to say, and yeah, take care for now. Peace out, much love, stay healthy.